Today we're going to look at the be verb in the past tense. Before we start, let's look at singular versus plural forms of the be verb. So, remember that the be verb changes depending on the person. We have two forms of the be verb: was, were. Let's look at how the be verb changes depending on the person. Number one, I, was, he, was, it, was, you, were, she, was, they, were, the student, was, the teachers, were. So I have I, he, it, she, and the student, was. So we use was with the singular. And then we have you, they, the teachers, we use were with the plural and you. Okay, now let's look at the function of the be verb. Okay, it's linking. We use the be verb to link a noun with a noun. Tom was a pilot. And with an adjective. She was free. Let's look at this more. Okay, remember that we are looking at the be verb in the past tense with was, were. Okay, so Nina was. Okay, and it's occurring in the past. So we say Nina was a. We use the be verb to link two nouns. So noun one, Nina. Noun two, a good student. Nina was a good student in the past. Remember, we're talking about was the be verb in the past. So Nina was a good student. Let's look at another example. Okay, again, we use the be verb to link two nouns. So Tom was. Tom is my first noun. The second noun is pilot. Tom was a pilot in the past. Okay, let's look at how the be verb links with adjectives. Okay, again, she is my noun. She was free. Free is the adjective. So we say she was free. And again, we're talking about be verb in the past. So was. Okay, let's look at another example now. Okay, he was. He is the first noun. And the asleep is the adjective. He was asleep. And again, it's occurring in the past. Okay, let's move forward now. Let's look at negation. Okay, so what is the form? He was a good student. Is this true? No. So to negate, we add not after the be verb. He was not a good student. Okay, so we negate. And we're talking about the past once again. Okay, let's look forward to. We're going to negate once again. So we're going to add not before the be verb. So we have two students. They're studying. They were bad students? Not true. They were not bad students. Okay, so again, we can negate. We add not after the be verb. Let's look at some other examples. Okay, she was busy. True? No. So we're going to add negation. She was not busy. We can also do contracted negation. She wasn't busy. The contraction happens between the be verb and not. Was not, wasn't. Okay, let's look at another example. They were asleep? No, not true. They were not asleep. And again, we can do contracted negation. So they weren't asleep. The negation happens once again between the be verb and not. Okay, let's move forward and we're going to look at yes/no questions now. How to make questions with the be verb. So when we make yes/no questions, we move the be verb before the subject. Remember, the be verb has two past tense forms, was and were. The past third person singular be verb was. She was good. And the question, the yes/no question, was she good? The past plural form of the be verb were. They were there. Were they there? And the past first person singular form of the be verb was. I was a good artist? Question, was I a good artist? Okay, now yes/no questions are answered with a yes and a no. So, she was angry. Question, was she angry? Okay, so this is a question. So, was she angry? Yes, she was. Okay, you were good artist. Yes/no question, were you good artist? Okay, now this is a yes/no question. So question, were you good artist? Answer, no, we weren't. Again, we answer with a yes or a no. Okay, now we're going to look at WH questions and how to make a WH question. Before we start, let's review what WH questions mean and how we use them. So, how we use for manner. Okay, so how do you come to school? By car. When we use for time. When is it? At 5 p.m. Why we use for reason. Why? Because. Who we use for people, for persons. Who is she? She. What we use for things. What is it? It. And where we use for place. Where is it? On 8th Street. Okay, let's move forward now. When we make an information question, we add a WH question to a yes-no question. So for example, she was angry. Yes-no question. Was she angry? WH question. Why was she angry? Okay, so we just simply add a WH word to a yes-no question. Let's look at another example. They were there. Yes-no question. Were they there? WH question. When were they there? Okay, let's look at another example. I was a good artist. Yes-no question. Was I a good artist? WH question. How was I a good artist? Okay, now information questions are answered with information. So, yes-no question. She was angry. Yes-no question. Was she angry? WH question. Why was she angry? Why was she angry? Answer. Information. Because her boyfriend was smelly. Let's look at another example. They were there. Yes-no question. Were they there? WH question. When were they there? When were they there? They were there on Saturday. Okay, information. So remember, we answer yes-no questions with yes and a no, and information questions we answer with information. Okay, quick summary. Remember, we use the be-verb to link a noun with a noun. So Tom was a pilot. The noun is a pilot is a noun. We also use the be-verb to link a noun with an adjective. She was free. Free is the adjective. Remember that to make a question, we just move the be-verb. Okay, so she was angry. Was she angry? And we can also add a WH word if necessary. Why was she angry? To negate, we add not after the be-verb. They were asleep. They were not asleep. And the contraction happens between the be-verb and not. They weren't asleep. Okay, this concludes my presentation. If you have any thoughts, questions, or concerns, please email me. And thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you in class.